Welcome. If you're considering a career in diagnostic medical sonography, this video will walk you through how our Associate of Science degree program is structured, what's required, what to expect, and how it's organized. Our goal is to give you a clear picture so you can decide whether this program fits your goals and your circumstances. Sonography is a demanding profession, and this is a rigorous program. We'll be specific about what that commitment looks like. This video is part of a series of UMI information videos. The series includes videos about UMI as an institution, admissions requirements, paths to credentialing, clinical training model, and tuition financing options. In this video, we'll focus on the content and structure of our Associate of Science in Diagnostic Medical Sonography program. Here's the program at a glance. 20 to 24 months to complete. 122 quarter credit hours. 8 10-week terms. A minimum of 800 general clinical practicum hours. And the program is approved by the American Registry of Radiologic Technologists, the ARRT. To enroll, you need a high school diploma or equivalent, and you'll take the Wonderlic SLE exam. No college credits are required to apply. UMI's Diagnostic Medical Sonography is approved by the ARRT, the American Registry of Radiologic Technologists. Graduates are eligible to apply to sit for the ARRT Sonography Credentialing Exam. The program also opens several pathways to ARDMS credentialing, the American Registry for Diagnostic Medical Sonography. Once you complete your ultrasound physics class in your first 20 weeks of the program, you'll be eligible to take the ARDMS SPI exam, which is the first step on that path. Before we go further, a quick note on resources. For program information, refer to the UMI catalog, the primary authority for academic information. The catalog and the UMI website also provide links and references to a detailed curriculum table with full course information and descriptions. UMI uses certain terms in specific ways across these materials, so let's establish a common language up front. Two of the most important time terms at UMI are term and module. A term refers to 10 instructional weeks. That's UMI academic term, excluding holidays and school breaks. A module, sometimes shortened to MOD, is a group of related courses that share common objectives, a similar method of delivery, or a similar structure. A module typically spans more than one term. So when you see term in the catalog on our program page or in the curriculum table, think 10 weeks. When you see module, think a grouping of courses across multiple terms. You'll see 4 module designations across UMI curriculum: Mod 0, Mod 1, Mod 2, and Mod 3. Mod 0 is not a numbering mistake. Mod 0 contains your 4 lower division self-paced General Education 100 courses. You can complete them at any time during the program, on your own schedule, parallel to your other coursework. Unless you transfer the credits in from another accredited school, you'll complete these through a UMI-approved online course provider. Mods 1, 2, and 3 are the sequence program modules. You progress through them in order. Mod 1 is foundational. Mod 2 covers the core sonography modalities. Mod 3 is the advanced clinical phase. In the catalog and the curriculum table, every course is listed with a method of delivery, and there are 3 you'll see most often. Remote synchronous means you and your instructor meet at the same time, in real time, from different locations, like a class on a video conferencing platform. Remote asynchronous means you access materials and complete work on your own schedule, within a defined time frame. In-person at a clinical site means hands-on work at a designated clinical affiliate with patients, equipment, and a real clinical team. Some courses combine methods, for example, synchronous lectures paired with asynchronous lab assignments. The curriculum table, linked from the catalog and the program webpage, also uses short codes for course designation. Core means a core sonography course in the major. GE means a general education course. LD is lower division and UD is upper division, relevant if you ever continue toward a bachelor's degree. So a course tagged Core LD is a lower division core sonography course. GELD is a lower division general education course. One more thing about the curriculum table. If you see multiple terms listed for a single course, that course is on rotation. Many of our associate degree courses rotate, so your exact sequence depends on when you begin the program. Let's now turn to clinical training, which is at the core of the UMI program and is structured quite differently from many other sonography programs. The UMI program includes two types of clinical training. Both are conducted at real clinical sites. The first is the General Clinical Practicum, which runs the entire length of the program and consists of 3 sequential courses: Clinical 1, Clinical 2, and Clinical 3. In this practicum, students observe and participate in a broad range of cases at a designated clinical site, working alongside the clinical team. The general practicum begins in the first week of the program and continues through graduation. The second is the modality-specific clinical practicum. It consists of 4 5-week sessions, each paired with one of the 4 modality lecture courses in Module 2. In each session, patients and cases are scheduled specifically for the modality being studied that term: abdominal, small parts, OB/GYN, or vascular. The hours completed in the modality-specific practicum are separate from, and in addition to, the 800 hours required for the general clinical practicum. In many sonography programs, students complete classroom and laboratory coursework before beginning clinical training with patients. This preparatory phase often lasts a year or longer. The UMI program is structured differently. The general clinical practicum begins in the first week of the program and continues through graduation. From the first week, students train at a designated clinical site, working with patients alongside the clinical team. During the first 60 weeks of the program, the designated clinical sites include nonprofit diagnostic ultrasound clinics. At these clinics, students have a chance to observe and assist with a wide range of pathologies, while providing medical ultrasound scanning to underserved members of the community. Module 2 covers the 4 core sonography modalities: abdominal, small parts, OB/GYN, and vascular. Each modality is assigned its own 10-week term, divided into 2 5-week sessions. One session consists of a live remote lecture, and the other consists of the modality-specific clinical practicum at a designated clinical site. Module 2 therefore includes 4 lecture sessions and 4 corresponding practicum sessions, one for each modality. On-site days during each modality-specific practicum are scheduled in coordination with the clinical site. UMI works to optimize on-site time, allowing students to combine their modality-specific and general clinical sessions on the same days when possible. The 5-week modality-specific practicum is supplemented by 8 hours per week of asynchronous simulation lab assignments. Now let's walk through the program module by module, from the foundation in Module 1 through the core modalities in Module 2 to the advanced clinical phase in Module 3. Here's the full program at a glance. 122 credit hours, 8 terms, approximately 80 instructional weeks. Mod 0, your general education, runs in parallel, completed on your own schedule. Mods 1, 2, and 3 are sequenced. Underneath everything, your general clinical practicum runs from week 1 through graduation, accumulating to a minimum of 800 hours. And your career advancement portfolio, your capstone, also spans the entire program. Module 1 is your foundational module, terms 1 and 2, 20 instructional weeks. Your coursework here builds the fundamentals: Introduction to Sonography, Ultrasound Physics, SPI, Anatomy and Physiology, and Medical Terminology. Successful completion of SPI in this module makes you eligible to take the ARDMS SPI exam, which is the first step on the ARDMS pathway. Alongside academic coursework, you'll begin Clinical 1, your general clinical practicum at a designated clinical site. This is also where your career advancement portfolio begins, your capstone project that runs the full length of the program. Module 2 is the core academic segment, terms 3 through 6, 40 instructional weeks. This is where you cover the 4 core diagnostic medical sonography modalities: abdominal, small parts, OB/GYN, and vascular. Each modality has its own 10-week term, and each term is split into 2 5-week sessions, one for the live remote lecture, and one for the modality-specific clinical practicum at a designated clinical site. The sequence of these modality terms depends on your program rotation, and within each term, you may have the practicum either before or after the corresponding lecture. During Module 2, your General Clinical Practicum, Clinical 2, continues. On average, you'll complete a minimum of 4 hours per week of general clinical, but how those hours are distributed depends on each clinical site's schedule. UMI works to optimize your time on site. Your clinical faculty will provide you with your schedule during the orientation. By the end of Module 2, between Clinical 1 and Clinical 2, you'll have accumulated a minimum of 280 to 300 general clinical practicum hours. Your career advancement portfolio also continues through this module. Module 3 is the advanced clinical phase, terms 7 and 8. Here, you're placed individually with a clinical affiliate to complete the remaining clinical hours required to reach the program minimum of 800 general clinical practicum hours. This is the most intensive clinical phase of the program. UMI requires a minimum of 20 hours per week during Clinical 3, but the actual schedule is determined by the clinical affiliate and may require a full-time commitment. Plan for that. To progress to Module 3, you'll need to have completed all Module 1 and Module 2 requirements, plus Clinical 3 orientation and any additional prerequisites for transitioning to your Clinical 3 affiliate. During Module 3, you'll also conclude your Career Advancement Portfolio Capstone Project. And, important reminder, if you didn't transfer in your general education credits, you must complete any remaining Mod 0 courses by the end of Module 3 in order to graduate. Throughout the program, you'll work on your Career Advancement Portfolio, your capstone project. It begins in Module 1, develops through Module 2, and concludes in Module 3. By the time you graduate, you'll have a developed LinkedIn profile with professional connections, a completed final career coaching session with a UMI career coach, and a rich collection of recorded reflection and skill demonstration videos, all of which become part of your professional portfolio as you transition into the field. Before we close, a few practical things you should know about schedule and commitment. Throughout the first 60 weeks of the program, students engage in approximately 16 to 20 hours per week of combined academic and clinical activity. Live remote lectures and modality-specific practicum sessions are typically scheduled on weekdays, Monday through Thursday, with occasional Saturday sessions during Term 1. These sessions run approximately 4 hours and are typically held in the morning. The general clinical practicum is scheduled across the week. Sessions may take place Monday through Thursday afternoons, or on Friday and Saturday mornings or afternoons. Each session runs approximately 4 hours. Some days combine both, for example, a modality-specific practicum in the morning, followed by a general clinical session in the afternoon. Module 3 is the program's clinical intensive phase. It requires a minimum of 20 hours per week, with the schedule determined by the assigned clinical site. A full-time commitment may be required. Schedules are subject to change with reasonable advance notice. A quick note on general education. The 4 lower division Gen Ed 100 courses in Mod 0 can be completed in one of 2 ways. If you have prior college credits, you may be able to transfer them in. That's subject to UMI authorization based on transcript review. Otherwise, you'll complete them through a UMI-approved online course provider, on your own schedule. Either way, all Gen Ed requirements must be completed by the end of Module 3 in order to graduate. For more detail, the program page on the UMI website is your starting point. You'll find the program description, admission requirements, full course listings, and tuition information there. The curriculum table on that page lists every course with its term, designation, method of delivery, and schedule notes. The current academic catalog, also on our website, is the authoritative document for current curriculum and policies. And it's worth knowing that curriculum is regularly reviewed and revised, so the catalog should always be your current reference. And if you have specific questions about your situation, please reach out to UMI Admissions directly. We're happy to help. Thank you for watching. We hope this overview gave you a clear picture of how our Associate of Science in Diagnostic Medical Sonography program is structured, and what to expect as a student. Take your time exploring the program page, the academic catalog, and the other videos in our series. When you're ready, the admissions team is here to help with any specific questions. Whatever you decide, we wish you well as you consider your next step.